Okay, here we are. I'm going to be doing Virgo's reading for you. Okay, I've spread the cards already after a good shuffle, and I've decided to fan the deck out and select some cards for you today. And this morning I've meditated on all the signs, and Virgo, for your message, overall message, I just got do. So I feel like there's some kind of action that needs to happen, or do whatever you're doubting, to move, get that energy going within your Virgoan trait. And this is for all cross watchers as well, for Virgo, all placements, and particularly Virgo North Node, which I like to include. What's interesting as well for you guys, Virgo, before I even started, when I was shuffling the cards, you got the High Priestess that popped out, followed by the Eight of Wands. So I feel like in some way, definitely the Eight of Wands is very much about a lot of action, okay, coming through. Now with these Voyager Tarot, which is what I'm using today, they're completely different images from the archetypal symbolisms of the Rider-Waite cards, which is a lot of the tarot are designed and derived off. This is much more abstract, full of a lot of images as well, and I felt moved to use this deck here for all signs. Anyhow, you also have several cards on the table, whereas most people had 3 and you had got several because you got a double card for the first thing. And in fact, I'm going to just open them. All right, so you got 2 cards instead of 1 because 2 just wanted to come out. So interesting here, I've got 2 cards and they're very similar. Wow. All right, we've got on the first. So I think coming into this reading, or coming into this energy, some of you have been coming from a place of seeing things clearly after a lot of delusion. I can't help saying, you've got 2 cards that are so similar. You've got a card here of delusion, 10 of crystal, which is actually the 10 of swords. All right, this is maybe when things have been really kind of hard, difficult to crack. And here we've got the moon card as well. Okay, so I feel like in some way, some of you are actually recognizing that certain things that actually have to be released. Okay, there's some activity that needs to happen. You're coming to a place from darkness to light, or where certain things are being revealed. Okay, we are coming up to the new moon at this time of the reading as well, which is when I'm doing it around, but this is a timeless reading. So, with the do, right, and High Priestess, I would say here as well, really pay attention to your intuition. Very important as you're coming up to this reading, or some of you might experience this, that your intuition has guided you to see something really clearly, or perhaps where you were being under some spell of not being able to see something clearly. All right, maybe some of you have also got to a point that you feel a bit delusioned by what life has thrown you, and you can't actually figure things out. I'm just going to have a quick look, because this is a relatively new crystals, new deck for me. Here we are. Yeah, in some way your mind has been creating some illusions and delusions, as if it's playing a really hard time, and both the moon energy and the delusion can be a real downer that maybe kept you stuck, I feel, and sort of over, I wouldn't say not doing, but just sort of stuck, sort of, I'm looking at suddenly my eyes with, that statue, something like you're like a statue, like you're not even able to make a sound or be able to move forward. This is really important now, but I think within that silence as well, I feel like you are able to get some really quiet but very strong messages that you are needing to pay attention to. Okay, in some way, maybe you're learning a lesson about you're able to see things, the only things that you wanted to see. You were perhaps some of you woken up to some scenario, some story. Maybe your partner's been unfaithful to you, or maybe you realize that you have actually been kidding yourself, that this relationship's going to be a certain way, and suddenly you realize, oh my God, I've just kind of really program myself to believe that that's possible, and you're waking up to that, or you're waking up to the fact that something that you thought could work out is not working out, because you see the truth now. So this is a really good thing for you to actually be recognizing. Okay, it says here, follow your dreams and remember that all great ideas also are too far out most Yeah, so again, also, sometimes if, some of you, I feel like maybe you have some kind of dreams. We've got a lot of these memes now that go out, dream big or go home, as if, the only thing you can ever do is just make a giant, like a giant, wish, which is really also very delusional. Listen, no matter how hard you try, sometimes I have to say to you, this is not for anyone specific, and I don't want to be a dream breaker, because I'm all about following your truth and authenticity and living your dream life. But there's a lot of American trash mental ideals that have been going on and around the YouTube, social media and all that, as if that if you don't make it big, you're a nobody or you're nothing. And you're right. These are delusions that you need to really break away from, because this is not for everybody, okay? These paths are not for many of you, and that's not because you're not good enough or you're not worthy. It's because it's just not. That's simple as that. There's no right or wrong or needing to feel bad. So I feel like in some way needing to snap out of that delusion. Okay, so this message could be for somebody specifically, maybe feeling that you're not doing well in life and you've had all these high ideals and it's not happening, but perhaps it's now time to carve some new ones out. And what's interesting is your next card, and somebody else got this one as well. Aquarius got this one as well. Releasing yourself from stagnation. So there you are, from some stagnant energy, maybe where you've got yourself stuck through the delusions that you've been living out of as well, sort of Virgo. Okay, I really want to sort of say this is really time for you now to actually really put some energy behind maybe something more realistic, maybe something more true to your heart, okay? And really paying attention to what is really you, and not some kind of projected ideal from the external world that you've taken on, and that you've been doing. I feel like you get more energy to do what you want to do as well, particularly if you're really into it. This is really important for some of the Virgos as well. All right, I feel like you definitely need to release anything that's not serving you, and if you need to actually work out and you're sort of thinking, I don't really quite know what it is, then maybe you ought to sit down and write, see what is in your life, see what clearly is not working, make a list of your friendships, your hobbies, your spiritual side, family, friends, where you live, your interior environment, whatever, and then maybe write, how close is it to my reality? Is this really me? Maybe you've done your whole flat up and it's not really you, you've taken it out of a magazine, that kind of thing. I feel like you've somehow, some of you've kind of got a transference of a way of being that's not really you, and I think it's really time now to wash away that. And I think some of you are getting a crude but a real wake-up call. And between the last full moon, and again, maybe go and watch that video, and to this new moon, you're really coming to the point that you can see where you have deluded yourself, and maybe where the illusions need to be seen, and creating any stagnant energy, because this is where you are now, and this is the action you need to take. You need to definitely take away, releasing anything and everything that's broken, okay? That could be physical ornaments to your way of thinking, a relationship maybe that's broken and you keep on trying to mend it as well. Only you know what's best for you, but again, stop holding on to things because you're afraid of something new to come in, or maybe not to have anything in its place for a while, because sometimes when we make these changes, we have to walk the road of, the road less traveled, which means it could be a barren road for a while. All right, but you are releasing yourself from the stagnation that you've been experiencing. And on that note, wow, how beautiful is that? Okay, we've got 2 cards as well at the end, Virgo. So you've been very fortunate because you've got 5 cards as opposed to 3 for like the rest of them. But I'd like to say you've got 2 cards. One is inverted, but I'm going to turn it up, because you have the card here, you see, of aspiration. Really wonderful, from what I was just saying, coming out that stagnation. It's like when you get rid of what's false and not true, you will get your aspiration really clearly as well. All right, so this is a card of, victory almost, really sort of all these elements. There are 4 pillars, there are 4 sort of I can feel like, I'm not saying erections, but things that are long and tall, elongations. There's the arm coming through, there's a pillar or that tower, and there's also the Statue of Liberty, and there's this sort of so in other words, they're emblems of height, strength, and aspirations. They stand out, okay? This is what you'll be going towards by putting away all the stagnation away, okay? Now, it might take courage for you to be able to do that and really sort of say, actually, you know what? This relationship's not working for me. You know what? This job, these people, blah, 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 or this project, or this bit of the project really is not for me. Maybe I need to delegate it out, whatever it is, whoever you are. You know, it's going to not fit everybody, but the theme is there for all of you. And if not this time, hopefully be some nuggets of truth and wisdom and information that you can actually think, oh, you know, that's something really I could take that away. Here we've also got the Three of Crystals. So I feel in some way, by removing the delusions and the stagnation, you are also, you know, this is like the Three of Pentacles. You're now going to be really creative. The sense of energy and brightness. I mean, if you listen to these two cards, that's dark, black and all that. This is blue, yellow and orange. All the kind of sacred colors of creativity. All right, the throat chakra of the blue, you know, which is the self-expression. The yellow of power and sun, you know, the energy of openings and new birth. And particularly the orange here, also the sacral chakra, which is where all stems of creativity, which is very much here too. So I feel like you'll be moving to creating a new path for yourself and be able to sort of really see clearly, if not fully the path, but what you need to surround yourself with, I'm getting. All right, and what it is that you and how you need to build your life in a way that's much more attuned to yourself, but through being grounded. Really, really important. Okay, so and with that, you're going to have to take some action. So I think, you know, really hone your focus in, start doing what's important for you, and really release what's not having any favors or anything for you. Okay, yeah, like doing you any good. And that includes everything and everybody and everything, down to ornaments in your home. Okay, I've just opened the multi-dimensional oracle card here, turned it over, and I've got the card of peace. So again, you know, maybe even going into your cocoon as well for a bit during this sort of a few days from this reading. You know, spend maybe a couple of days or periodically, definitely in meditation as well, or just quiet. You know, just don't have your mobile phone by your hand. Don't watch any movies. You know, kind of unplug. All right, so you can actually then really plug into yourself, okay? And then through that, you will also find some kind of tranquil state of being, which will also invoke a radiance and some inner knowing. You also got two cards, so I'm going to open the next one. Two came out, two were stuck to my finger, and this is also the magical card of the unicorn. So again, maybe by sitting there, allowing yourself to dream, look at the spiritual vision and innocence. So again, you know, moving away from that stagnant energy to moving to this sort of state of magic. So saying, if I had no I know it sounds like almost contradictory, right? The delusion and the illusions, I think, were not yours. But if you were to actually innocently dream something up, what would that look like? Okay, what would excite you? What direction do I know, you know, truly that I want to move towards? You know, I mean, if you look at this card, there's all that yellow around that kind of symbol of the peace. And again, here on the unicorn, you know, very much there in the third eye component, and your aspirations and your creativity really comes from there to begin with, okay? But I think it's really important maybe for you to sit down and play. You know, the new moon certainly is a very good time to put your aspirations, your intentions out, and maybe dream up a new dream for you that is really true, and maybe not one that's been projected from the outside and made you stagnant in the course of trying to live up to them. So I'm just going to leave this reading, this part for the Virgoans, okay? And this, of course, could relate to not only work, but your relationships as well. So, you know, make sure that you're being really true to yourself in whatever you really want and aspire to, all right? I think you've been obedient long enough and done things right by other people, and now it's your time to do what's right for you, do what you feel is best for you, and do and, you know, move towards maybe where you want to live and how you want to do your life. All right, so this is the card. All right, nice. Here we've got the angel. I've got the angel cards today. This is the card of kindness. So I think a bit of kindness towards yourself also will really help to bring that, kind of release you from that stagnation. Okay, sometimes maybe you've been in such a stagnant life that you've not been so kind to yourself, or not feeling unkind, or maybe even being unkind to other people because you've not been feeling great as well. Only you will know. But this is about you being really gentle and kind, you know, but being in peacefulness as well. Okay, and maybe even showing some kindness to others that maybe could bring you out of the sort of stagnant sort of place that you've been in, because this is the place that you need to get yourself out of, all right, in the next sort of few weeks as well, moving into the sense of aspiration and creativity. Maybe for some of you as well, that you've been so doggedly doing something that's not been right, you've forgotten really who you are. And in order for you to sort of get inspired again and creativity is to start being kind to yourself, you know, treating yourself to maybe buying yourself some flowers or something you like, or maybe you've been denying yourself some chocolate because you've been on a sugar-free thing. And then, you know, just let yourself have something that can soften the energy of doing things by other people's rules and philosophies, is what I want to say. I think there's just so much out there. I think there's so much confusion now, and people are becoming actually quite sort of, they're sort of stagnating and following other people's ideals and rules and diets and keto and no sugar and everything like that, whatever it is. You know, you have to get 10 videos out, you know, to be seen, or, you know, you have to pump out so much this, that and the other. I don't know. Take it as you need to, but I feel like in order to be really who you are, you need to start being kind to yourself, because your true self knows what's best for you. Okay, now finally let's move on to the chakra that will help you maybe acquire this kindness, and let's see what wants to come out. Okay, here we have got the throat chakra. Okay, the again, the blue, I mentioned that earlier on in the cards. So really important for you guys to really, you know, maybe speak your truth, or speak kindly to yourself. And if you've done some mistakes and you've got it wrong, be kind to your own self by talking to yourself, soothing talk, kindness talks as well. Here also, by concentrating on the throat chakra, you'll be liberating yourself out of the doldrums of the stagnation and getting into the creative juices as well, where you can start really cultivating and making. I mean, I feel this is almost as if you've kind of gone into a cave and found all these incredible gemstones of such powerful colors. All right, and this is a bit like this is your like your magic treasure here. And by really focusing on your throat chakra, this will allow your authentic, true expression as well. Some of you might need to actually sort of move away from somebody or something, or actually even call something out, be the whistles, what's it called? The whistleblower on something as well. Okay, this is really important, maybe that you might have to take on that mantle and do something, be it in your family or in a workplace. If that is the case, because whatever's been happening has not been working for the collective around your world and your life personally as well. So the throat chakra, just to finish again, Virgos, you know, in order for you to really kind of express yourself, do and take the right action, really open up, imagine the blue color on your throat area. You can do the sound eh, like with an EH, eh. Do a few rounds of that, visualizing the blue color. And you also can look at the video on YouTube for any throat chakra meditation if you like. But I recommend that you make that your focus. Use it as a practice for the next few days, maybe up to 2 weeks, and see what miracles can come into your life to do with your aspiration and creativity and your actions. All right, Virgos, I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe, and certainly do comment and let me know if you are getting something from these readings. I'll most appreciate it. And until next time, I will catch you then. Bye for now. Bye.